Welcome to Best of the Nest, a program produced by the television production students at Armstrong High School that takes a look at things from the student's point of view. I'm Nolan Hallman of AHS-TV, and today we'll be taking a look at yes folks, that's three different topics in today's episode. First up, we're going to take a look at social media from the student's point of view. Let's get into it.
Hello, I'm Connor Jacobs of AHS-TV, and in this segment of Best of the Nest, we will take a look at the pros and cons of social media and how it's viewed from the students' and teachers' perspective. We will be talking with Ms. Douglas and Matthew Bargerstock to get a hawk's eye view, but first, let's take a closer look at what AHS has to say.
Hi, I'm Larissa Friend of AHS-TV, and today we will be taking a closer look at the pros and cons of social media. We took to the halls of AHS to see what some students have to say on the matter. Abby, do you feel that social media makes teenagers more insecure or confident?
I think that social media definitely makes people more insecure because it makes it a lot easier for you to compare yourself to others whenever posts are usually very unrealistic due to filters that you are able to use.
I agree with that. Thank you. Do you feel that social media affects your mental health in a negative or a positive way?
I would say negative. I think that social media makes people okay with being bored and with not doing anything, and it makes them content with that. So I think having social media negatively affects your mental health because you're not actively seeking stuff to entertain yourself and better yourself.
I completely agree. Thank you. Anna, do you feel that it is easier for friends to stay in contact since social media and iPhones have come out?
Yes, I do. In the past, I feel like people have had to use home phones and stuff to call their friends, but now I can easily just shoot a text.
Thank you, Anna. We also wanted to hear the opinions of a few teachers on the topic. Mr. Swanson, do you believe that social media has made it harder for students to focus on schoolwork?
I think social media has a lot of potentially negative implications, and I think concentrating on schoolwork is one of them. I do think whenever it's something that you might not be fully interested in, it's a gateway to kind of distract yourself. I teach 9th grade English this year, and we were in the library about 2 weeks ago, and I was keeping track of who was working, who wasn't, and specifically what the kids that weren't working, what they were doing, actually writing it in my book. And I had some kids playing games on their phone, on Snapchat or TikTok, and my favorite one was shopping on Amazon. And these kids certainly had work that they needed to be doing. So I think if it's something that you're not personally invested in, then social media becomes a convenient excuse to distract yourself.
I agree. It helps shorten your attention span. So if you're like, I'm done doing this stupid work, I'm going on my phone. So thank you.
No problem.
Well, there you have it, folks. Straight from the Hawk Speak. Back to you at the studio.
Thanks, Larissa. For those of you just joining us, I'm Connor Jacobs of AHS-TV, and I'm joined today with Ms. Douglas and Matthew Bargerstock to talk about the pros and cons of social media. Now, Ms. Douglas, as a teacher, are you yourself on social media?
I am. I'm actually on 3 social media platforms, but I only am active on 1.
So do you think that going onto social media makes you more or less motivated?
I think ultimately that's why I'm only active on 1. I prefer to see things that I'm passionate about or hobbies that I have versus people's opinions. So I think whenever I find certain aspects of certain platforms draining, I think that it makes me less motivated and I discontinue using them.
Fair enough. Now, Matthew, what social media platforms are you active on?
I am active on Snapchat and Instagram, but I'm not the biggest fan of it, so I'm not that active in it. I mostly use it for browsing and contacting people that don't have their phone number.
So, Ms. Douglas, how has the development of social media and technology changed the way that you teach today?
So in terms of social media, I really try to curb social media use in my classroom. I think that it can be too distracting for students. And so I really try to focus on just using technology. So I use a variety of technologies in my classroom. I use Kahoot and Blookit and Nearpod and Kami and Edpuzzle, and I think it actively engages students. So I think it has made classroom instruction better, and it can provide certain technologies like Nearpod can provide feedback for the level of understanding that students have, so I know if I need to reteach something or if we're good to go as a classroom majority. So I think that in some ways it's had a positive impact on the classroom, and then other ways, right, when kids are trying to sneak Snapchat and do things like that, it really is a detractor.
Understandable. So, Matthew, do you think that being on social media has affected your grades at all?
Of course it has. Why would I do homework when I can watch YouTube?
Ms. Douglas, do you think that social media has made kids more or less motivated to learn and do their schoolwork?
I definitely think that technology, benefits classroom instruction, but in terms of schoolwork and homework completion, I think that social media in general has probably decreased their interest in engaging in learning activities. And I think just constantly being available and being on social media probably leads to a lot of fatigue and burnout for students. So then I think homework falls to the bottom of that list.
So, Matthew, how do you think social media has shaped you into the person that you are today?
I think I'm a more private person. When I first got social media and when my mom allowed me, I was very public with my ideas and stuff, and I used to post more about my life. But I think it brought a lot of negativity to me. A lot of people weren't the nicest, so I'm more private when it comes to that. I don't post anymore. I don't post on my story anymore, so I'm more private.
Okay, that's fair enough. Ms. Douglas, do you think social media makes younger kids want to seem more mature?
I think if you think about youth in general, historically, younger kids have always wanted to seem more mature. Younger kids that have older siblings, younger kids that ride the bus with many older grade levels. So I think kids have always kind of strived to be more mature. I think that social media has exposed them to more of that earlier. So yeah, I do. And I think, a lot of that can be dangerous for them because developmentally and, in sense of maturity, they may not be ready for some of the things that they're seeing on social media.
So, Matthew, what age did your mother let you get social media?
8th grade, my mom hates social media, so she was very adamant on not letting me have it. I begged her since 4th grade to let me get Instagram, Snapchat. Wow. 8th grade, she finally said, it's your time, and yeah.
So, in what ways has social media affected you?
Like I said in the previous question, I'm more private. I think I'm more in touch with people now. When I didn't have Snapchat, I didn't know a lot about the world and a lot about how people felt and stuff. So now I feel like I'm more understanding, more relatable to people than I was once.
Fair enough. So, Ms. Douglas, I know we talked about some of the negatives, like the Snapchats in class and stuff like that. So, do you see any positives as far as kids being on social media?
Absolutely. So I think that it does increase a certain level of connectivity, and I think that even when I was young, I would talk all night on the phone to some of my best friends. I mean, my grandparents would be like, you're tying up the dial-up internet when you're on the phone. That's how old I am. So I think that it's quite typical that kids want to connect in this way whenever they can't be together in person. So I think it's really a good thing because it allows them to reach out to one another and express maybe their needs that they don't get met during the actual educational day. So I do think there are some things that are beneficial about kids having social media and being on it. I do know that there was a certain social media platform that I was on a lot, and then I decided to freeze my account. And whenever I did that, I really was able to step away from the sort of scrolling aspect of things and seeing other people's lives, and I was able to live my life better. And I think what students and just adolescents in general need to realize is, if they just moderate how much and how often they're on it, it can be like a really positive thing versus, being on it too much, right, and that being unhealthy.
For sure. Now, Matthew, if you have kids when you're older, at what age do you think you're going to allow your kids to have a phone?
Well, I got my phone when I was around 10, and ever since that, it's been like a hot pocket in my pocket. It's just burning, and I always want to be on it. And it's been a distract in my life. I remember before I was 10, I used to be an active participant outside. Now I'm more of an introvert. I'm always online, watching YouTube, on Snapchat, browsing Instagram. So I think I'm going to be a little bit more stricter and give it to them when they're in high school so they have that feel of being a kid and being outside.
For sure. Now, Ms. Douglas, what are the differences in social interactions when you were growing up compared to now?
We played outside all of the time. Someone was screaming at me to come inside by the time it was getting dark out, just so that I didn't get kidnapped. So I think it's a little bit different now. I think the kids are maybe a little more isolated if they stay at home, they stay in their room, so that they can feel connected to other people, but maybe they're not getting out of the house as much as we did when I was younger. I think that I talk to my friends the same amount, just in different modes, right? So we had instant messenger on the computer, and my friends would call the house phone, but there had to be a certain time that I was off of those items, right? Because obviously that's something my parents could monitor. I didn't have a personal device; they were community devices, and so that's a big difference in the amount of social interaction that I could have, and I got a lot of sleep at night.
So, Matthew, do you think that cyberbullying is still a problem today?
Yes, if someone's been cyberbullied before, I think it's a serious problem still today. I think it'll probably never go away because on the internet, it's the easiest way to bully. You can hide behind a mask, you can hide behind your screen, and unless your username is your name and your profile picture is your face, they won't know who they're getting bullied by. And I still am affected by it as a minority. Sometimes when I want to post something, I feel like I can't because I feel like I get too much hate for it. So sometimes I hold back, and that's one of the reasons why I don't post anymore.
Sure. Thank you, Ms. Douglas and Matthew, for joining us today to get a hawk's eye view on the pros and cons of social media. Until next time, I'm Connor Jacobs of AHS-TV. Keep on soaring.
And we're back with more of AHS-TV's Best of the Nest. I'm Nolan Howman of AHS-TV. Let's jump right into our look at stresses of final exams with myself and the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Fischel.
Hello, I'm Phoenix Petrosky of AHS-TV, and in this segment of Best of the Nest, we will take a look at the stress and struggles of finals and how it's viewed from the student's perspective. We will be talking with Nolan Howman and Mr. Fischel to get a hawk's eye view, but first, let's take a closer look at some of our seniors, what they have to say.
Hello, I'm Ava Barton of AHS-TV, and today we're talking to the senior class about the stress and struggle of finals.
To the halls of AHS, and we're here with Liza today. So, how do you prepare for finals?
Yeah, so what I would do is that I usually like to rewrite my notes for a test, but for finals I'll usually just review the review sheet they give us or whatever I need to do to succeed.
Okay. Then, how worried are you for finals?
Yeah, I'm a little worried just because I feel like my Chem 1 might be hard and maybe anatomy, but I'll study and should be all okay, especially with the end of the year. Just wanting to have fun too with prom and everything. So, yep, a little bit of a balance.
Perfect. And then, how do finals affect your end of the year schedule?
Yeah, so it definitely gets really chaotic with finals and everything because the senior trip and graduation, and then how I'm going to have to write a speech for graduation. Mm-hmm. So that's definitely going to be a little bit hectic with finals, but we'll figure it out and it'll all be good.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm here with Carson. So, how do you prepare for finals?
Study. Need to.
Good plan. How worried are you for finals?
Not at all.
That's also good. So, how do finals affect your end of the year schedule?
Clear it up, I guess.
That's good. We're here with Caleb Hoffman. How do you prepare for finals?
Well, I prepare for finals, studying, getting a good night's sleep, and eating nice breakfast in the morning.
Alrighty, that's a good plan. Then, how worried are you for finals?
Not too worried. Senior year, it is what it is at this point, but just do whatever I do.
For sure. Then, how do finals affect your end of the year schedule?
Our school's really done once our finals are over, so it's just take our finals and then we mess around with the rest of the days.
Yep. We're here with Nathan. So, how do you prepare for finals?
I don't prepare. Actually, I just go in blindsided and just say screw it.
There you go. Then, how worried are you for finals?
Not worried at all. I'm really good at just filling in the answers really fast.
That's a good strategy.
It is.
How do finals affect your end of the year schedule?
It doesn't at all. I'm gonna show up, do finals in like 10 minutes maybe, just walk out and continue with my day.
There you go. Thank you.
Yep.
Well, there you have it, folks. Straight from the Hawks Beak. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Ava. And for those of you joining us, I'm Phoenix Petrosky of AHS-TV, and I'm joined today with Nolan Howman and Mr. Fischel to talk about the stress and struggles of finals. Thank you for joining us today. And Nolan, what are some of your thoughts on the end of the school year?
Oh, well, it's coming up quick, isn't it?
It sure is.
What? It's almost May now. Finals are that week of like the May 17th. Starts like the 15th. So it's like we're getting there. I think seniors have 14 days left. Like that's nuts.
2 weeks. Crunch time.
Crunch
Literally
time.
crunch time. And Mr. Fischel, what do you think about the end of the year?
I tend to get philosophical at the end of the school year. I often think about the great group of philosophers called Cinderella, not the Disney character. And they once said, you don't know what you got till it's gone. And that's how I feel like at the end of the school year.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely as a senior, we're going to really feel that here in a little bit. But and now these next couple questions will be aimed towards more you, Nolan.
Yep.
How do you prepare for the end of the school year?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of stuff to keep track of. As a senior this year, focused a lot on college, what's happening after school, with graduation and, with the scholarship dinner, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Making sure I'm, prepared and my grades are somehow keeping me afloat.
Of course,
of course. With senioritis and stuff. But in previous years, I mean, it's, like you said, it's studying for finals and making sure all your ducks are in a row by the time the year ends, so you're not catching up on anything over the last 2 days.
Nobody wants to do that.
No
It's
one.
miserable. And now, like you said, are you worried about finals? But you said maybe that was before.
This year, don't have a ton of finals. Just see benefits of senior classes, right? But in previous years, I definitely had some struggles, and I have some this year. But math classes are always tough for me. Finals are always super stressful.
Each class at Armstrong High School has to give a final. And the final is worth 10% of the final grade. It's not part of the fourth 9 weeks grade or any other grading period. So it's set apart from the 4 9 weeks grading periods that we normally have, and then it's added into the final grade at the end of the year.
Thank you for joining us today on the Hawk's Eye View of the stress and struggles of finals. Until next time, I'm Phoenix Petrosky of AHS-TV. Keep on soaring.
All your professors, all of them, they know that all it takes is one dreamer with passion, one person, and they hope in each of you that you might be that one who makes a longer-lasting light bulb, who writes music for the ages, who reaches into the mind and discovers a new star, and who can change the world of a fifth grader. We're gathered here to hope in you.
And we're back once again with more of AHS-TV's Best of the Nest. I'm Nolan Howman of AHS-TV, and to round out this trifecta of Best of the Nest goodness, we're taking a look at local businesses.
Hello, I'm Eliza Ashbaugh of AHS-TV, and in this segment of Best of the Nest, we will take a look at local businesses and how it's viewed from the owner's perspective. We'll be talking with Amy Stiller and Kristen Meehan to get an employer's view. But let's take a closer look at the perspective of student employees.
Hello, I'm Cassidy Adams of AHS-TV, and today we're taking a closer look at local businesses and how they are viewed through the perspective of student employees. We took to the halls of AHS to see what Emily Poore, Kate Stiller, Caden Hankey, and Scarlett Reed have to say regarding the topic. We're here with Emmy Poore. How has working for a local restaurant affected your after-school life?
It's definitely taught me time management skills and definitely a way to balance my grades, my friends, and all my other activities that I have.
Do you feel that working for a local restaurant has more benefits than working for a franchise restaurant?
I definitely do. You can build stronger bonds with the workers there, and they also do unique things for our community.
Nice. Besides providing good food for our hometown, are there any ways your business has given back to our community?
Yeah, so I worked at the Meredith Inn for about 1.5 years, and they sponsor a bunch of our school events and definitely give back to our community in many ways.
Thank you. We're here with Kate. What role do you obtain at the business you work at?
I do kind of odds and ends. Like wherever I'm needed, I'll go help. But mainly, I just do videographing and then editing videos too for the YouTube channel.
Nice. We hear you are part of courses such as TV production, as well as being involved with the photography club president. Has being a part of these extracurricular benefit your work life?
Yes, it definitely has, especially like with the videoing aspect. I do like a lot with the rule of thirds that I learned in TV production and so on.
Nice. Are there any ways AWRCs has impacted the community as a whole?
Yes, we actually do a race here in Katanning, and a lot of kids that go to our school ride or race and participate in the series.
Nice, awesome. Thank you. We're here with Caden. What position do you obtain at your job?
I'm a cashier and sometimes a manager.
Nice. How does working for a local grocery store differ from that of a franchise store?
I think it's less formal and everyone just is kind of friends.
Nice, yeah. How does your work life interfere with your school life?
I don't get time to do homework, and it adds a little bit of more stress to my life.
Yeah, I bet. Thank you. We're here with Scarlett. Would you say that attending Lenape Tech for culinary arts has benefited you working in the pastry industry?
It's definitely given me a lot of prior knowledge and skill.
Nice. We know that Studicakers is very popular. Due to its popularity, how has this affected your work schedule?
I've definitely been working a lot more and a lot more frequently.
Are there any ways that Studicakers gives back to the community as a whole?
We do a lot of fundraisers for the school. We've done fundraisers for the Alzheimer's Association and for Ukraine last year.
Thank you. Well, there you have it, folks. Straight from the Hawk Speak. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Cassidy. For those of you just joining us, I'm Eliza Ashbaugh of AHS-TV, and I'm joined today with Amy Stiller and Kristen Meehan to talk about local businesses. Thank you for joining us today. Can you tell us a little bit about the local businesses you own?
Yes, we own American Woods Racing Championship Series, which is an off-road racing series for dirt bikes, quads, UTVs, Stasic bikes, and also pit bikes.
Awesome.
Yep. And I own an ice cream shop. We make homemade hard scoop ice cream in West Katanning.
Awesome. Lots of versatility. I love it. Where is your business located, and are there multiple locations?
Actually, we are based out of Armstrong County, but most of our races are within like 2 hours of the Pittsburgh area, and also we have a couple select races in Ohio.
Nice.
And I just have one shop in West Katanning. Yeah.
When was your business started, and how has it grown since?
We bought the business in 2008, and we had approximately about 250 racers.
Wow.
And now we have over 1,000
Nice.
on a given weekend.
So I started in 2013, and we started as like a walk-up window, and then we just kind of expanded to a dining room area. So
Awesome.
Yeah.
Do you personally work at your business, or are you just primarily the owner?
I work there. I run registration, and I feel like you almost have to be there when you have a business.
Right.
Same. Yeah, I'm pretty much there all the time. I make all the ice cream. So.
Oh, yes, I'm sure that's a lot.
It is.
How do you employ your business, and do you keep it to friends and family, or do you hire outside as well?
We do both. We are definitely a family-oriented race series. We employ a lot of people that their children also race.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like like-minded people, you know, that have the same experiences
Yeah, like
as we
passion
do.
for it,
Yes,
for sure. Yeah.
exactly.
For you?
And we do both as well, but it's a lot of Armstrong students that I've recognized in the hallways.
Yeah. What does an average day or shift look like at your business?
Well, it's usually a very long weekend. We open the gates at 7. We start registering at 7:30, and it's a jam-packed day of racing until about 6 o'clock in the evening. But our crew and our setup crew is there usually a couple weeks in advance.
Long days.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Ours started about noon is whenever we open. I'm usually making ice cream Monday through Friday. And then 4 o'clock, the other shift starts, the evening shift starts. We're usually pretty busy in the evenings.
Would you say you're more busy in the evenings than
We get like,
lunchtime?
yeah, an after dinner rush. We're looking forward to like chorus concerts and band concerts and stuff. We always get people before and after that too.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What inspired you to start your business?
Well, my husband was a racer and always had a passion for like motorcycle and motorcycle sports. And a business came that was kind of going down, and he decided that that's what he wanted to do and give other racers a chance to go race, you know, and pursue their passion.
It's a great thing.
It was a summer project in between my junior and senior year of college, and it was a joke between my dad and I that we were gonna have an ice cream shop or an ice cream van. So I actually did it as like intro to business class. I wrote a report on it and everything, and then I graduated. I went to Pitt Johnstown, and then I worked in finance in Pittsburgh for 2 years, and I just decided that I'd had enough of it. So I just kind of circled back around and yeah.
It's a good story. Have you felt accomplished within your business and have achieved the goals you set for it?
Definitely. I mean, there's always room for growth and room for learning, but at this point, you know, we have continually grown, you know, throughout the years. We never wanted to be the biggest series. We just wanted to be the best. So that's kind of what we put our focus on, and safety, you know, is one with racing. So yeah, I feel like it's very successful.
Yeah, for sure. Quality is important.
Yes.
Yeah, and I agree, you know, with Amy. I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought.
No, you're all good.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely, you know, very satisfied. I agree with her that the growth every single year, and it's been in different ways, and we definitely set out to be different. There's a lot of, I said saturated market in the ice cream business around a small town then too, so we had to set ourselves apart, and I think that we've definitely achieved that goal.
Yeah, awesome. Besides prevailing goods and services, are there any ways your business has given back to our community?
We do. I mean, we have a couple races in Katanning, and of course, when you bring 3,000 people into a town, you know, other businesses, you know, benefit.
Right.
But we also do memorial rounds for our racers that have lost, you know, loved ones and things like that. And I'm a part of Light Up Night, and we support that, you know, a lot. But yeah.
And then same, yeah, we do a lot of donations, you know, a lot of giving back, a lot of, I'm part of DKI, the Wine Walk as well. Yeah, so yeah, it's a good community thing, but yeah. We did have, never mind. My train of thought's off.
All good. Are there any specific ways your business sets you apart from other competitors?
I mean, we're a very specialized, you know, business. Of course, it's, you know, it's a team of off-road racers, you know, so that in itself, you know, it's like a family in that sense as well.
Awesome.
So sets us apart from other competitors.
Yes,
Yeah, we try to be like authentic with all of our ice cream bases. We don't use you know, a lot of artificial ingredients, or we try not to.
Right.
We offer non-dairy. It's just about being different, about being trendy, but not trying to push it, you know, too much.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Until next time, I'm Eliza Ashbaugh of AHS-TV. Keep on soaring.
Well, that's our show for this week. Best of the Nest is a production of the students enrolled in television production courses at Armstrong High School. Join us again next time for a look at some of the unique things happening in and around Armstrong High School from the students' point of view. Until then, from our nest to yours, have a great week.